Hi, Place Games here, coming to you back with another video of Vault 88. Our last episode, we built started building our atrium. We built our nice little fancy security office, which is actually bigger than the original.
It's a lot bigger than I realized.
Really? Shut up, Preston. We need to hear your wisdom. And we built some gel cells, which is freaking awesome. I'm actually kind of happy how that turned out. But yeah, I was thinking in this episode, we're going to...
Overseer.
I can hardly believe it. My overseer's desk. After all this time.
Oh yeah, because I built it to get her out of the vault. Or get her somewhere where I can deal with her. But yeah, we built our nice little diner. Which I'm really happy with. You know, it's not huge, but it's nice. Does the job. And we got our other section here. Which, you know, leads us out back into the tunnels. So I'm thinking in this episode, we're going to build into the northeast sector. I want to know, have you guys ever used the whole entire tunnel system to build your vault? I know Oxorn has, but he said it's a lot of work, and if you're just using base materials from the game and not any mods or anything, it's a lot of work to build your vault like that. It can be done. It's just a lot of work. I've almost done it without mods, and trust me, it's a lot of work and it's a lot of materials. I swear I spent more caps building Vault 88 without mods than building Vault 88 with mods. This is actually the first time ever I'm building Vault 88 with actual mods active, and I'm going to tell you guys this if you don't already know. I spawn in my building materials. I don't go and buy them from vendors. I used to do it that way, but it's a lot of work, and you can only do that for so long because a lot of these vendors you would have to constantly be either restarting the game or waiting a little bit, like going to sleep for a couple hours and then seeing these vendors again. But it's kind of not really worth it in my opinion. But I mean, you do you do. Oh shit. Didn't want to do that, but you do you however you want to do it. And I've been playing Fallout 4 since 2015, completed it 6 ways to Sunday and again. Well, beat it 6 ways to Sunday and again, and I already pretty much know exactly what's going to happen in Fallout 4. So, I don't really care anymore about the cheating. I used to, but I don't. But one thing I will tell you, snapping this in without mods is a pain for some reason. It works, but yeah. But anyways, we're going to build in the northeast sector because we're going to build our reactor room. Because you know how the vaults have the reactor room? I thought we'd build... Will something snap there? I don't think it will. Sometimes I like adding these things to it, but I don't think it will. Because yeah, if it snaps in, it's gonna... Yeah, I don't like that. But then again, you don't really see it, and we could put some crates in the front. You can snap this without mods. It's possible. It's just you have to deal with it clipping through here. And I've done that before. And if you don't not using mods, just take some crates and stuff. And even with mods, just take some crates and stuff and block it off. It just makes these feel more interesting than just having a long, endless hallway to... you know, wherever you need to go. Because usually what I do is I actually put it here. But again, you can build your vault however you please. I really don't, I'm not gonna tell you how to do it. Your vault. But it's kind of how I build 88 myself. I haven't built 88 with mods. I actually haven't built 88 in years. Last time I built a Vault 88 was 2018. And that was 5 years ago. 6 years ago, I think, almost. So, other than that, I haven't played this really much till then. But I do like adding these things because it makes the hallways feel a little more interesting and you don't have like a long hallway. Oh well, I noticed that the snapping point's kind of like on an angle. I noticed that when you're building your vault, the snapping point, which is literally the door, because this is your first snapping point for Vault 88, is this door right here. And I noticed, even without mods, when building Vault 88, the vault sits on a very, very slight angle. Because this interior cell, because this was created by Bethesda, was not set exactly straight. And you all know how I feel about things sitting on a slight angle. For some reason, that just still bugs me to this day. I'm still like, what the hell, Bethesda? But you know, Todd Howard, he don't give a shit. He did actually drop a weird, interesting message. He feels bad that he didn't... He said he feels that he didn't do enough for Fallout 4. He kind of just abandoned it. Which, I mean, essentially he did. They kind of did after Fallout 4 was launched and they were done all the DLC. Fallout 4 just kind of became... kind of like really nothing to Bethesda. But realistically, what can you do? The game's had its time. Now it's time to move on to something else. Like, I mean, they got Starfield. And I know everybody's feelings on Starfield. It's very mixed. Even with these paid mods. Which they just did right out of the gate. They weren't holding back on those paid mods. Which I kind of suspected Bethesda was going to do right away. They were going to do paid mods for Starfield. I will say though, I like Vault Tech Workshop. It's one of my favorite DLCs. The fact that you can build your own vault kind of really set the precedence of... I will say I do enjoy it. I did like it over Wasteland Workshop. I'd say the worst DLC for Fallout is Wasteland Workshop. I don't know why. All you really got was just a bunch of concrete pieces. Yeah, we'll just put one. I don't want it to be super crazy. But it's because we built this out not quite as far as we normally do. So, you know, but every vault is different. So now we got to build a reactor level, which is going to require... Oh. Yeah, I don't like that. I do not like that. So we may have to fix that. what we have to do is we have to remove the door. We're gonna get a starter skinny little... There we go. Oh, you already have it. So then this should just stick to it back to back almost. It might not work that way. Because essentially we could build like a little mini room here, but that won't really work either. Or we just build like a small... Ah, those frickin' sounds in this vault just creep me the hell out. Because usually what I do is I actually don't put a door here. I put this here. But it just doesn't look good because you see how unfinished and junky that looks? Because then you got the transition from domestic to... Because I always like putting a window. Because yeah, you see how that transition looks good because we're transferring from domestic to utility. Because usually what I like to do is I like to put a window there. And then you can see to where you're going. Although I don't know why you would want to tunnel on the wind to look into these deep dark tunnels, but you know, settlers are weird that way. But I kind of like adding windows to it because if you played Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas, whatever your fancy is for a Fallout game, you always see some of the vaults have like windows overlooking tunnels. That's kind of where I get that inspiration from. Now we gotta add our door. So we can snap this to it. There we go. And I guess that's a nice clean transfer over into utility. There we go. I really wouldn't know what happens if you cut these lines or something. I don't. Same with this. What the heck is this? I have always wondered what the hell is this thing? Is it some sort of tool? It says do not tamper. Usually when you put something like that, that's going to let your intrusive thoughts win. And you're going to mess with it. And knowing settlers, they would probably mess with something like that. Yeah, we're just having a good day in the vault, and all of a sudden, bam, we're getting some weird... Some weird crops going down. But there we go. That's a lot better. Now, if I was doing this without mods, sometimes I'll put like concrete walls up. So you can't see the other side of the vault. Because apparently some of the vaults, they had to collapse the earth around the vault tunnels to kind of protect the vault. Because realistically, in This is a fun fact about nuclear missile silos. Titan 1, Titan 2, Atlas, and I can't remember the other one, even the Minuteman missiles or the ICBMs, all have springs that suspend equipment and the personnel. Preston, you're standing at the end of that hallway like you're those two girls from The Shining. They'll tell the sole survivor, come play with us. But anyways, getting off topic here. The vaults would technically have to have a similar system introduced because the shockwaves from the explosion could still damage the vault unless the vault is super deep underground. And I didn't know that. There's actually some videos where they explain that a lot of this stuff, these platforms, would actually all be on springs. These walkways would all be suspended by springs. Everything would be suspended by springs, even these rooms. So you think you'd have these big springs or these shocks bolted to the ceilings of these places, so in the event of a tremor underground, you wouldn't even feel it. And if you did, you would hear the springs of the shocks adjusting to said explosion. Because you couldn't build something like this without having something like that happen. And I didn't know that. But it's how the vaults would have to be engineered. Now, would it be ideal living for you? For the vault dwellers? Eh, not necessarily, but, you know. It wouldn't necessarily kill the vault dwellers, but better to be safe than sorry, right? But could you imagine everything being suspended on springs in this vault? I think we're going to build a little room here. This will be kind of like the room before you head down into the reactor level. Yeah, see, I don't like that either. It's just not going to work unless we put like those up. But that don't work either. So unless we were to do it this way, we build that there. And then we build this. And this is kind of going to be like I kind of want to build a window looking down into the tunnels below because it's kind of cool to do that. Say we build that. Build this. Or we expand this one more. Because what I was thinking of doing is build it like that. And we could even put a door right here. We know that doesn't really look good, but I don't really want to have doors going out into the tunnels. That's the problem. And if we do have doors going out in the tunnels, they got to be some secured, pretty damn secured doors. Because essentially this is your final stop before the reactor room. Because realistically, all of this stuff would be abandoned once the vault was built. If you think about it. But because we don't get a lot of building space in these tunnels, because essentially what I was gonna do is do it like that. Build it like that. There we go, that's what I want. Because realistically, we could put a security desk here, and there has to be like a security checkpoint, because essentially this is the vault reactor. Do you really want some random Joe from the wasteland going to your vault reactor and messing with it? I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that'd be on the Soul Survivor's mind, or anybody living in Vault 88. Well, yeah, go screw with our reactor. We're okay with it. You're not gonna do nothing to us. Now we gotta build the stairwell leading down to the reactor. I have my Pip-Boy light on so you guys can see. But now essentially we got this area here, which is kind of like your split between the vault. And this will be kind of like the main area before you enter the reactor room. And you have to check into security before they'll continue to let you into the reactor. The reactor will be considered a highly protected area of the vault, because there ain't no vault that would just randomly let people go to your reactor. Because, you know, it's your reactor. It's what's powering your vault. A highly doubt a vault's going to be like, oh yeah, you can go check out our reactor. You know? Oh, I always forget about that stupid stairwell. Get me back in the vault away from the creepy groaning sounds of the tunnels. Usually when I'm playing Vault Tech Workshop, I just listen to music. Yeah, that looks hilarious. But I wonder if we can build it like that. I really wish you could delete these stairs. If you have scrapped that settlement, I think you can scrap those stairs. But again, they probably wouldn't even bother doing that when they were building the initial vault. They would just leave them. So we may just have to have an unbelievably long stairwell leading down to this section of the vault. Even though I don't really like it. It just looks so stupid. But I guess we could create like a break area. You know, like a locker room. Before they can continue down in the vault. It's kind of where they store their personal belongings. I know though, we're cutting kind of close to the concrete. Or the rocks. Let's see if the rocks are cutting through here. Yes, they are. Curse you, blasted rocks. In a real situation, you would just blast the rocks away and that would be that. Then it would clear it. But since we have still 2 more sections to go down, we could just build it here. Yeah, Vault-Tec Workshop's a little bit tricky in certain areas when you start building into the sectors. But we should give the guys like a locker room, unless we use the locker room up in that area. Or this could be a break. No, I don't want it to be a break room. Who needs breaks in a vault? You're here to work. We're not here to give you guys breaks. This room's mostly all corners. Here's a nice thing about Vault-Tec Workshop though. Is you can build supports. I don't really do this if I'm building with mods because it takes up a lot of materials just to build the stupid supports, but with mods I always build them in. Just because you wouldn't be... Because we don't want our vault pieces just floating around up here or down here. Oh, okay, that's the wrong one. Want this one, the short guy. That kind of looks ominous, the way that looks. That looks very ominous. And now we gotta build a transition. Build this. Build that. Which now we can build our reactor room. Now to build the reactor room, you just use now these do disappear, I think, without mods, so you don't gotta worry about them. But yeah, I always build my reactor room out of these pieces. Oh, and another thing you can do is you can use the corner pieces. That's just the wall. Actually, I'm not gonna build it like that. I'm gonna build it. We have this piece up here. And this piece right there. There we go. Now we could eliminate the stairwell going down into here if we wanted to, and then make this the only point of entry into the reactor. Which essentially would make more sense. This is where we're going to add our stairs. So now we have like a way to... into the reactor. I don't know what these are. Oh, these are just plates that you can put over stuff. I guess we better put them up, you know, for health and safety reasons. Now to add our reactors. I like how you need a nuclear physicist degree to get the fusion generator, but you don't need that for that thing. That's a frickin' beast of a reactor, too. And I like how it's the old sound effects from Fallout New Vegas. But from what I looked up, a vault would actually need about 4 or 5, 6 of them, depending on the size of the vault, would be based on how many of those needed. Vault 111 would only need 2. That's why there's only 2. Large vaults like Vault 101 would probably end up having like 5 of them at once in a room. Could you imagine having 5 nuclear reactors? Reactors right next to you. And just think of if one of these days his reactors are just gonna go to shit. You're gonna be caught like in the middle of that. There. We'll just build like a little closet like we did with that one area. It'll be the reactor broom closet. Because you know we're going to have a janitor here. I kind of don't mind that being through there. I actually don't mind that. That kind of looks cool, actually. But, and then it uses that space, so it's not just dead space. That's the problem too with Vault Tech Workshop. You can end up with like a lot of dead space. And you gotta watch that. Yeah, that sounds exactly like the Fallout New Vegas reactors. Which is a nice touch. One thing I gotta make sure I remember to do is add a ceiling. I guess we can do. Start getting the tunnel. Because that's what, 400 units of power? No, 300 units of power for the vault, plus the one you have at the entrance of the vault. So you can't forget the entrance one. Oh, and just look at it this way, I don't have Jonas telling me I can't be in the reactor level, if you guys remember Jonas from Fallout 3. Ezra Jonas needs to be modded into this game. What are you doing in the reactor level? Not 3 anymore, Jonas. I can be in the reactor if I want. There. Yeah, and the stairway doesn't feel... Oh, that's really bad. Just watch your head. We gotta put some signage up on those beams. Our seller's gonna be smacking himself in the head. It's not gonna be so comedic for him. Or her, whoever does it. Because, yeah, the other reactors we have is this one. Which... that kind of looks scary. Like, that thing looks like it could do some damage if you weren't careful. One thing I do want to do is add a support to here. Now we kind of got like a massive reactor room. Which we can add like some consoles and stuff to. I don't really like this area down here though. This makes me wonder if I should just bring this straight up. But then it kind of makes it harder for the stairs, because then the stairs gotta move. Essentially what we could do is we could extend this room . We'll extend the platform so we have some. And we'll add some walls down to here. Then we just don't have dead space, because the reactor room doesn't need to be having dead space. You know, or we could do that. And for support reasons, we could put those up there, because we do technically have a large ceiling, and essentially you would want supports, because essentially the middle of the ceiling there is not being supported by anything. But always make sure to add your windows. If you don't do that without mods, even with mods, sometimes you won't be able to snap them in there. That's one thing I learned. Because we could remove these two back pieces. We stick a door on the end there so we still get our little broom closet style room. Oh no, we gotta have that room with the door. I always forget about that. Oh no. Then we have our window. I guess this ends up being our broom closet. There we go. Yeah, this doesn't look great, but I can deal with it. Yeah, this is way better. You know, we still got our steep stairwell leading down into here. Because, yeah, this door blocks most of that all, so you don't even see it. And this is kind of like our reactor room office. Or essentially entering the reactor room itself. Oh yeah, that's too close. Because I think you can actually, your character can die from electrocution being near those. I'm not completely sure on that, but I don't want to find out. Honestly, would love to get 3 in here. Can we make that happen? Wait. Mount that almost to the frickin' wall. Oh, I think we can. I think we can put 3 in here. And then essentially we just build our walls like this. That's 100, 200, 300, 450 power units of power in this vault. Yeah, that's a lot of power. But there, we got our reactor room. I'm gonna make sure we add a door. Alright, so I'll end the video off here. It's gone on long enough. I really appreciate you watching, and I really hope you enjoyed this video, and there'll definitely be more to come later. And if you would like, and you're not all day too, but I really appreciate if you liked and subscribed and hit that little bell notification down below, and so you get let know when I drop another video. But other than that, I appreciate every single one of you that subscribe to my channel, and I Really do appreciate that. But with that being said, I'll see you next time. Bye now.